Hey guys, Bobby Thompson back with another video, and in this video we're going to be talking about Lydia Auersloot. So I think a few days ago I released a video on her, and she was in this video. She was giving a seminar to some fellow KLM pilots. She had been grounded, and possibly more than just pilots, but there were certainly some pilots in there. She had been grounded for her belief that in flat Earth. And she had been featured, this all went down in 2017, and she had been featured on, she did a interview with Mark Sargent on his channel, and it's maybe a 50-minute interview. And she discusses the whole process, how it happened. She'd been a pilot with I believe, KLM for 22 years. And she discussed, the flying routine with pilots and exactly how it went down and how she had to give counseling, and she was ultimately grounded. So with that said, some people came on in my comments and started saying, well, she's not, and multiple people had came on and said, she's not a pilot, she was lying because she's not a commercial airline pilot. And I contested that and said, my first argument was that the FAA doesn't have, it's not the authority for every country. For example, the Netherlands has their own aviation authority, and they do. So I'm not sure if the FAA tracks every pilot, but regardless of that, it's not even relevant. We're going to get into some truth here. So their argument is that if you go to the FAA, assuming it does capture every single pilot for every country, Lydia's in there, but she only shows up as having a private pilot license. So they're saying that, yeah, she wasn't even a commercial airline pilot, right? So what I did to test this was I just went to LinkedIn and I opened the first 9 Netherlands KLM pilots that I could find, right? So I just searched for KLM pilots Netherlands. I think 1 or 2 of these came up not in the Netherlands, even though that was just my search. So we're going to start, right? And these aren't all in my favor, but let's watch what happens when I go to 9 of them, right? So Christoph Willeman, he's a airline pilot at KLM, has it, unless people are just into, if that's a thing now, it's just randomly faking LinkedIn profiles. I can't imagine why someone would do it, but let's look up Christoph Willeman. And hate to use real people, right? But that's the only way to make these points. These people have no argument in this, but they are public profiles. They had the choice, the option to private their profiles. Many people did, but there's only 2, so it's got to be one of these. There's only 2. It's an odd last name. There's only 2. This guy was born in, or it was issued in 45. He would have had to be close to at least 20 years old. So pretty sure this guy wasn't born in the 20s. So we're gonna say it's got to be the other guy, Petrus. And it is a foreign based. I would assume that's him. He's got a private pilot license. So, but assuming FAA, which that is an argument, is that the FAA has all licenses. Either this guy's not in the system, which would invalidate their argument, or he is in the system and he's lying about being a pilot at KLM. I'm going to assume he's not lying. Let's go a little further. Jeroen Kok. Okay, K-O-K. Let's see. Yeah, this guy didn't even come up, right? Just didn't come up, right? Maybe he's lying. Maybe that's not his last name. I don't know. But he's not in the system. But let's go further. Dirk Coolen, right? C-O-O-L-E-N, right? Did I spell? Oh, I put 2 C's. Dirk Coolen. And it says that Dirk is in Antwerp. That's Belgium, I do believe. Let's see. Is there a Dirk? There is a Dirk Coolen. So maybe he was living in the U.S. I don't know. But he only shows a student pilot, right? But let's see if there's a Coolen. Maybe he has a different. Let's see if he's in Belgium. Let's see. Missed it. Maybe there's a cool, maybe that's not his first name. No, so must be him, right? So he shows up as a student pilot. Now let's look at Frank Coumans, C-O-U-M-A-N-S. Hold on, C-O-U-M-A-N-S. Let's set this back to anywhere. Frank Coumans. There's one Coumans, right? Middle-aged guy. Private pilot's the highest he made. Student pilot and private pilot, right? So probably about the same guy. Got his license in 1996. It's the only one in there. Either he's lying about his last name or he's not in the system, right? Which either invalidate your argument. But let's see John Bremmers, right? He's a pilot at KLM, lives in the Netherlands. Let's see if there's a Bremmers in there. Only a few more guys. There's only one Bremmers. It's foreign based. Now he doesn't have a commercial pilot license. He has a private pilot license and a flight engineer, right? I'm not sure what a flight engineer is. But he says he's a pilot, right? So we'll just put that as a neutral, if you will. Chris Behrens. Now, Chris claims to be a chief pilot at KLM, and he lives in the Netherlands. Let's see if we can narrow this down. Probably going to be one of these. Let's see. All three of these are student pilot on that one. Oh, there we go. That was the first one. Let's see about the second one. Constantine, student pilot, private pilot. So I don't know. Maybe the guy's lying, right? Or maybe it's not in the system. Let's see if there's an Eric Gilles. Gilles, G-I-L-L. Let's, oh wait, I spelled that wrong. Gilles, I believe. And he is in the Netherlands. So none show up in the Netherlands. Maybe just lives somewhere else in Europe. There's only two with the last name. So this guy's a private pilot, and Robert Paul, but 1948, definitely not him. Private pilot. So either he changed his last name, odd thing to do for a man, or he's not in there, right? So again, your argument's just shot down. It doesn't matter. Let's look up Joel Prack. And there is a Joel Prack. Only one Joel Prack. Private pilot license. That's all he shows. Got it in 2015, right? But he says he's a pilot at KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, right? Flying a 777, right? Oh, 767s, 787s, and flies a 777 for KLM. So either the guy's lying, right? He's just and I'm not accusing him of that. I don't think he is. But for someone to come and say that Lydia Auersloot is a liar, that's frustrating to me, right? Because she gave her testimony, and the lady lost her job as a result of it. If someone puts their face on camera and they're on multiple Dutch websites, right? If you can just search her name and use DuckDuckGo, you'll see she comes up on Dutch websites, right? Like the lady put her name out there. She is Dutch. She speaks Dutch. She gives a seminar in Dutch, right? She's not lying about who she. I really doubt the lady would lie about who she is. I can't say that for a fact, but I think there's enough to go by here. She does have a license. She is in the FAA database. And let's see if there's a Richard Boers. Where's he at? He's in the Netherlands. Let's see if we can narrow it down. Don't know which one he is. We'll just try one more time. I didn't see a Richard, I don't think. Richard. Yeah, there is a Richard. Assuming it's the same guy. The only one that came up with this commercial out of the first 9, the first random 9, one of them came up with a commercial pilot license. So there is a commercial pilot license certificate, and one of them had it out of 9, the first 9. Okay, so for those of you who were leaving comments under the seminar video, saying that she's been proven to not be a commercial airline. And this was what you all came back with when I said, explain how it was proven. Well, she's only a private pilot, right? That's been disproven now. So unless you can prove that she's lying, if someone comes out and gives their real name, which she obviously did, and she gave a seminar, she's proven giving a seminar to what are very apparently pilots by the questions they're asking. And she came out speaking English and on Mark Sargent's channel and gave a 50-minute interview. And she's on multiple Dutch websites spoken about. I think we can assume she's a real person. And I think we can assume she does have her commercial airline pilot. And I think we can assume she was telling the truth, that she lost her job and came out about this. So that's it. That's all I wanted to do is get that out. Sorry for making it so long, guys. Until next time, take care.